just so everybody knows, we're doing this without video because we lost power, so we're going to try to get through this as possible. So this is for the City of Marine City Commission meeting is called to order on Thursday, July 20th at 7 p.m. We're going to skip that part.
Mike, we're just moving fast because we're without power.
Can we have, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Bryce. Here. Commissioner Hendrick.
Here.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Here.
Commissioner Claus. Here. Commissioner Rourke.
Here.
Commissioner Ross.
Wait.
Mayor Vandenbosch. City Manager Atkins.
Here.
Okay, at this point, can I have a motion to excuse Jennifer Vandenbosch and Brian Ross, just in case?
So moved. Madam Chair, Commissioner Ross should be here at any time. He just texted me. He's around the corner.
He's around. Okay, so I just need one for Jen Vandenbosch.
I make a motion we excuse Jennifer Van Bosch.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need to, next to approve the agenda, but I need one addition. We're going to do a real quick, under new business, we're going to have 11K to impose an enforcement moratorium on the enforcement of 158.155 vacant building ordinance for additional review by the City Commission. That's all right with everybody? So I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll make a motion we approve the agenda as amended. Support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving right along here. Next, public comment. You can come and speak to the phone.
You go right here.
Can I go to the podium over here? Or?
If you can kind of do it closer. You can set your stuff down here
Well,
if you
the
want.
biggest problem is light.
Well-
It's an aging factor.
Well, you got that one.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, you're right. I'll stand up
There
over
you
here.
go.
This is a little different than I'm used to.
Yes.
We have a spotlight for you right there.
I
Yes.
appreciate that so much. I think everybody knows me. I'm Roland Wolkers, South Elizabeth Street, 35-year resident of Marine City. First of all, shout out to DPW and our first responders for the storm damage last week. They were quick to respond, Johnny on the spot, and I really want to thank for them. I'm really here. I apologize. I said I probably wouldn't come back, but then I saw the agenda and I thought, well, it's something I need to speak on. In reference to the ballot issue, there's several problems I have with it. Number one is all my years of being around city government, the only time you have ballot issues is usually for a millage or for a charter change. You guys are elected to make the decisions for the public. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why we elect you. You're our representatives. You're supposed to make the tough choices and tough decisions. I don't think spending the city attorney's time and our city money putting this on the ballot when if the other side wants it on the ballot, let them go do the work, spend the time and effort and put it on the ballot. I feel strongly about that. I think we shouldn't be doing that. You don't have to do anything. You already have an ordinance. So if you don't want to be on the record on what you want to do or don't do, just don't do anything. You don't have to worry about it. Your constituents. You guys are constituents. It's not just the people that vote for you. I know you're politicians, and you like to support the people that vote for you, obviously. And for most politicians, I'm not speaking to anybody in particular here, the most important thing is what? Getting reelected. So you want to support your constituents, and that's part of what you are. But you also represent a lot of other people in the community. Probably your biggest constituent is actually the kids. And that's why I'm here again, talking about the kids. They're the most vulnerable. Unfortunately, they can't go up and vote. They're not old enough. The parents who have kids in their schools who live outside the city are business people. The tourists that come in here, they're all part of your constituents that can't vote for you, but you're all supposed to be speaking out for them. That's your job. You're supposed to support them. So I think passing the buck and sending it to a vote of the people doesn't guarantee that you're doing the right thing for the general population of the city. Also, businesses. Some people come up to me and said that the theater up at Kmart, he said he's going to close if you put something up there. Some of our other businesses have talked to me. I know it's been controversial about what businesses aren't going to open and shut. We don't need any to close. So we gain one small business with the economic conditions of the marijuana industry, might not be open more than 6 months. So you bring that guy into town, he stays open for 6 months, then he closes and he leaves, and you've already lost some businesses who are going to close because you're bringing a pot shop into town. So you look at the big picture, you might think you're gaining something, but you're really not. You've got the potential of losing a lot more. Again, it's the edibles, it's the kids, it's the schools, it's the high school, it's the kids eating edibles at the lunch, it's kids bringing in mom and dad's edibles into the elementary schools, and also kids around their neighborhoods, domestic violence, all those kinds of things. You got edibles now. There's really no way to control that. You know, generally speaking, if your neighbor was smoking a lot of pot, you knew about it. If there was pot in the school, kids were smoking in the bathrooms, whatever, you know about it. You can't say that anymore. Royal Oak is in a big legal battle over this. Port Huron's still in a legal battle. So if you end up having an ordinance and you have a pot shop, it's not over. It could be just the beginning, which means you're going to be paying your city attorney or another attorney a lot of money to defend yourself as you go through court. I don't think that's something that you want to deal with. So again, think about the kids. Take off your politician hats. Put on your community hats. Think of the kids. Think of the seniors. Think of the people who come to this town. That I ride my bike up and through town all the time. It's packed on the weekends. The people are coming to the beaches. They're not coming for a pot shop. They're coming for family events. We have maritime days coming up. We have other things going on. We want our city known for tourism, being family friendly, and I don't think a pot shop's going to do that. So you don't have to do anything. Just keep moving on. If they want to go out there and get a ballot and they want to put it out there and vote, don't let them bully you and blackmail you and talk you into something. Because guess what? Even if it passes on them, one pot shop is all this community is going to support anyways. We're not going to bring 5 in here. Thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to tell you I'm not coming back because I already screwed that up one time. But we'll see how things go. Thank you very much for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Rosalie Squires, 211 Michigan. I'm a 27-year resident. I live in Mariners Landing condos. I've been working around City Hall to put pollinator flowers in. And everything I planted was a pollinator flower except 3 begonia plants. And I'm really into pollinators. I've been into pollinators since 1970. I was a little girl then. Anyway, I know I said this once a long time ago, that I wanted us to become a pollinator city. And since then, that still goes on. It's called the Bee City. And I've looked into it. If you look it up online, there's all kind of videos about it right on their site. And with our population, it would cost like $100 to join that. And I'd be more than willing to pay for it. But I see a lot of potential here in this site, because now we have a pollinator garden. And you know I'm going to make it better. And I put the bench up and stuff so people can sit and visit. And I know it needs a better one, but for now, it's a lumberjack bench, and it should last a little while anyway. And I don't think it'll have the traffic the beaches and the waterways has. So I don't think we need the one that we have there. But anyway, my next project is going to be the instruments. I want to put more things around there. Yeah. And there's so much potential here, because you could have a pollinator garden just by planting some sunflowers. Number one thing for all the pollinator places. There's 12 bees right now that are on the endangered list. We have 400 bees in the state of Michigan, and we really need our bees. And the monarchs are having trouble because they fly over. And so, we need to make people aware of it, kids aware of it. We have the library here. They could read a book about butterflies, and they could come over here, and I could tell them all about the flowers. And we could have a little piece of land right here in back, and each kid could plant a sunflower. I'd be more than willing to get involved in that. Also, we have 2 ballparks not too far from here, and they could plant sunflowers and things like that. It would be really cool for people in uniform, with their baseball uniforms, to stand in front of sunflowers. And they're not anymore just the big, 15-footers. Now they have all kind of white ones and, pink ones and all kinds of different sunflowers. So I really like to look into this, and also there's a conservation course coming up here in our county, and I think it's 11 weeks long or 13 weeks long. It costs $250, and I'm going to try to get into that class and go to that. And I really want to bring this. I think it's good for our city. I think it's good for our residents. I think it's a very good community activity, and to make people aware. So I just kind of want the go-ahead from the commission board to, go ahead and pursue this, because I don't want to pursue something and then just, land flat on my face. So anyway, that's why I came up here, and I think you think it looks good because it's a different kind of. It's a different kind of planting. It just is, because pollinators you need lots of colors to attract pollinators. You can't just be organized and have one color. And like, for instance, if you want hummers, you want to really plant a lot of red. You want they call it a hot garden. And anyway, that's something I'd like to do, and I just really wanted the support of the commission board.
Could I suggest that you meet with our city manager?
Okay.
And
Well, he's been seeing a lot of me.
Oh, yes. But I mean, meet with the city manager, and then we can all take care of that for you. 'Cause
Well,
you do a
I
beautiful
really
job.
want to say, I thank everybody for being cooperative. I mean, everybody's been really nice, and the DPW's been really good, and everything's worked out really well. I haven't had any flack at all.
Thank you.
Rosalie, sorry, what was the name of the certification?
B City. Ypsilanti's one, Ann Arbor's one, Royal Oak's one.
And it's $100, you said?
Well, by your population, by our population, it's $100.
Okay,
It'd be more if we had a bigger population.
thanks.
And a really good person's on those videos. So, there's a lot to that, but it's something we could promote our city with, too.
Mhm. Thank you. Go ahead.
Dave Warner, South Main Street, Marine City. I want to echo Mr. Walker's comments on the marijuana and let you know that my wife went to the movie theater last week and talked to the owner, and he said if facility goes in Kmart Plaza, or whatever, Riverside Plaza, he's out. And he said he had talked to the theater owner, had also talked to the owner of Techno, I think it's Techno Care. Yeah. And relayed that he would be gone too. I don't think it's a good idea that doesn't sound like a good trade, 2 for 1, but anyway, just want to echo that and say I support the bees.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Only got one left. Anything? Oh. All right, we're going to move on to approve the city commission meeting minutes of June 15th, 2023. I need a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended.
Support.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda. So we need to approve the consent agenda, the Marine City Area Fire Authority Run Report, the Departmental Activity Reports. C is the 300 Broadway meeting minutes of May 22nd, 2023. D is Zoning Board of Appeals meeting minutes, April 5th, 2023. E is Planning Commission meeting minutes, May 22nd, 2023. We have a special event permit for the Marine City Festival 2023 Maritime Days, which is coming up. Special events permit, Community Pride and Heritage Concert in the Park, and another special events permit, Marine City High School Homecoming Parade. So can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through H?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items A through H.
Support.
Any discussion? Oh, there's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Or do we have to do roll call?
Roll
Sorry.
call.
Roll call, I'm sorry. Gotta look at my thing here.
Commissioner Bryson? Yes. Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen? Yes. Commissioner Rourke?
Yes.
Commissioner Ross?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Lisa, I apologize. I have a problem at work. I have to run.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
Do we need to excuse him?
You do a quick motion to excuse him.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we excuse Commissioner Bryson.
Yep. Second.
grounds that he has, yeah, issues.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go on to expenditures, including payroll. I need a motion to approve $811,618.33.
I'll make a motion that we approve expenditures, including payroll, of $811,618.33.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we need a motion to receive and file the preliminary financial statements.
I'll make a motion that we receive and file the preliminary financial statements as presented in this packet.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to unfinished business, recreational marijuana facilities ballot initiative language discussion.
Commissioners, I just need some clarifications on the prior motion. My understanding is that the ballot language, which I have been working on, would read, just something in the narrative like this. Shall the city of Marine City enact ordinance number, and Jason and I will work on the number, which would allow recreational adult use facilities by way of dispensaries that can meet the setbacks and therefore be permitted uses subject to site plan approval. At the same time, we have to have the ordinance in place so that the ordinance not approved by you but can be posted so that folks could read the ordinance that would be the ordinance that they would be voting on if they elected to pass the ballot. The question I have is this: number one, you want this to potentially allow for storefront dispensaries only, true?
Definition.
Well, that would be the storefront sales, no growing, no production,
Correct.
no testing labs, none of the other. There's as Mike, there's just like 5 potential recreational uses. You're electing to move forward with an ordinance that would allow one of those by way of a storefront dispensary. That's what the motion says.
Correct.
Okay, and then that storefront dispensary would be allowed as a permitted use in the zoning category wherein the setbacks could be met. So you apply the setbacks, if you have property that's there, a storefront can go there. And I read your setbacks, right? That was in your prior motion.
Mhm.
Then there's a tag-along language that I need clarification on that says, and a special district if necessary. And,
You need clarification on that?
yeah, that's the only part. But
Yeah, that came from the Baltimore's ordinance. They have special districts set up there.
Okay, so we have to identify those in order to go forward with the ballot.
If necessary. If they're not necessary, then we don't need them.
Well, how can people vote on that?
But this is a question, unfortunately, you weren't here for
Yeah, I understand
the
that.
meeting, but that's why I phrased it that way, so you could give us an opinion on if it was necessary or not, and if it's not necessary, we don't need it.
Yeah, I think you would wanna leave that out because I think I've talked to the county a couple times on the relationship between the ballot language and the actual ordinance. The ballot language has to lead people with the general parameters of what's in the actual ordinance. So I think you're good up until you have like a maybe thing. And so they were.
Well, no, it wasn't a maybe, it was just if necessary. So you're saying it's not necessary, so
Yeah,
perfect.
I think you go with, so what you're doing is in the simplest terms, you're doing a turf ordinance. You're not doing a competitive ordinance. If you have land that meets this
Explain
criteria.
that. what you said turf war and
I said you're doing what they're calling is more of a zoning turf ordinance. If you're in this, if your land meets this criteria, you're a permitted use for a dispensary. We're not doing a competitive process in ranking facilities. What you're suggesting is you apply these setbacks, whatever property complies with those setbacks, that land is permitted for a storefront dispensary, recreational use, adult facility. End of story.
yeah, I mean that's what I would say. I don't know what anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I would do it. I'm going to tell you what the gentleman says about litigation. All of the litigation, not all of it, most of it centers on the ordinances that get into competition and, you know, where you have a competitive scoring, and then, you know, you leave it to the discretion of the community, and it gets very subjective. So if you stay away from that, such as an ordinance that I had showed you before, where you just say, here's where it goes. If it meets the setbacks, that's where it goes. I think it's a cleaner ordinance. Now, the other factor you have is, you know, our deadlines will be in August, you know, for this. The only election you have in this calendar year, you have none. It would have to be a special election. So I just want you to understand that.
So you're saying even though people are going to vote on this ordinance that we choose to word a certain way, they still have to review what that is going to be put on the ballot first?
No.
So we just write it?
No, you decide what goes on the ballot, but I have to have an ordinance.
I thought you had just said something about the public has to review the ordinance first.
No, they have to be able, so the language goes on the ballot, like I said, I just paraphrased it. But they have to have an avenue to say, well, I want to go read what that ordinance is going to look like. And not that you have a passed ordinance, because you wouldn't pass it until after the ballot results.
Right.
But you would have the ordinance online so that they could go review it.
After the election?
No,
You gotta be able to review
before
it
they
before
vote.
the election. We won't.
Right, okay.
It's
So,
not an
But it's
approved.
unvoted, right?
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm
say
sorry.
that correctly. What I meant is, yeah, they don't have to. It doesn't have to be like public hearings and such.
No.
It's just
No.
available.
Okay.
Just available so that they know, because there's no way we want to put the whole ordinance on the ballot, right? We want to put a summary of the ordinance on the ballot.
Right.
So shall the city of Marine City enact ordinance blank, which will effectively allow storefront recreational use adult facilities subject to the following setbacks as permitted use, subject to a site plan approval process. So if I was a citizen in the community and I saw that, Mike, I'd say, I want to look at what that site plan is going to look like. And that's in the ordinance. I want to look at how the ordinance is going to look. It's available. So that they get a general sense of the ordinance that you're contemplating.
Okay. And you obviously you haven't mentioned 1,000 feet. What is your opinion on that? And where the
You guys, it's in your motion.
No, I understand that. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, do you agree with the terms that we could put something in Kmart Plaza with 1,000-foot setbacks from the next residence?
From what I saw when you apply those setbacks, from what I saw, there were two areas where.
No, I'm not talking about those two areas. So, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to keep it together here.
No, that's good.
So what we said, what we had talked about at the last meeting, or maybe it was 2 meetings ago now, was that from building to building, 1,000 feet.
Correct.
You said door to door.
Door to door,
Building to building, building edge to building edge.
Right. So is that proper and going to work?
You can word it like that, yes. I don't know if that gets you into Kmart, I don't know.
I guess you'd
Well,
have
Mike, you're supposed to
to, you'd
know.
have to see a map.
I did see, like, I would have printed out the map if we had power today and done that.
Yeah,
But I
you-
figured, honestly, like, over the past month, like, somebody, like, would do some research on it. I mean, you were instructed to write the motion,
I was
or
instructed
to write the
ballot
ballot
based on
language.
your motion,
Right.
which I've done. But I didn't go back and recalculate.
Which
what-
you've done, do we have it?
No, I'm just telling you, it's due in August. I need clarification in order to complete it on the tag-along language concerning, and we already resolved it, a special district if necessary, we don't need that language. But what you're saying, you're asking me right now is, what land now is available based on those setbacks?
Yes, as our attorney, would our proposal from 2 meetings ago be appropriate for what we desire?
I guess we'd have to see a map.
Well, you guys had the.
But the other map was
Well,
parcels, not building.
You're gonna write the language. It then has to go to the county, board to review
Correct.
the language.
That's
and
correct.
see if they understand that what is there, that the people can understand it.
That's correct, and I've had that conversation, and that's why I'm here saying I need a couple clarifications to make sure the ballot language can pass the muster of the county review, which I think it will. You have, Mike, you guys have total control over what setbacks you wanna put in.
Right, which was already in the motion that we made, which
Right.
was to instruct the city attorney to put a ballot initiative on the ballot with 1,000-foot setbacks.
Yes, so that's what, is that where we're at?
I mean, that's the motion.
Okay, then we're done, I'll get it ready for you.
So,
The only thing that I didn't understand with your motion was that tag-along language at the end.
okay, so I'm a little confused if there was all these questions. Why weren't these questions asked within the past month? And now we're like at a deadline where it really should be on in November.
We need to talk about that too, because
We haven't missed the deadline yet.
No, I know, it's August 1st.
No, it's August 17th.
Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Petitions to place county or local questions on the ballot must be filled with the applicable local or county clerk.
See, I just talked to them and I have August 17th.
I mean, this is right off the Michigan government website.
here's one thing
And I've been also contacted, from others who don't want necessarily, they want you guys to decide if you wanna fund a special election,
Of course not.
or if you
Well,
wanna wait till
November
February.
will be a special, which means we have
Oh,
to
November
pay.
would be a special election?
Correct.
Oh, I apologize. I thought there was something on there.
You're gonna need to go to February to
That was
get
the
a-
other clause,
Okay,
Mike.
I didn't know. I figured there was something on
But
there.
you could
Nope.
you could do it,
That makes more sense.
you could do the February one,
Okay.
and it wouldn't cost you.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't know that. I figured
That
November
was the other, now,
I apologize.
that was the other pause button.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now that gives a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Because what we're looking at, Mike, is maybe around 10 grand out of your guys' pocket.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wouldn't, no, absolutely. No, I wouldn't want that. It's just, in my mind, November elections are usually more voted for. You get more people to show up.
Yeah.
But if there isn't anything.
But if you remember, Michigan made that big push to be a early primary, so you have a big primary election, which will be a big turnout in the beginning, February of 24.
So they can-
Okay.
Okay, so since we have more
So
time.
that gives you a little breathing room,
Yeah.
right?
Since we have more time, then can we see the map, since we haven't seen
Sure, yeah. I mean, I can definitely.
So Mike,
And
what
we
I'll
have
bring
to
back,
see
what
your-
I'll bring back at the next meeting is the draft ordinance and the draft ballot language. And then you guys can look at the ballot language, apply it to the map, and see if it's getting you where you wanna be. Not where anyone else, is it getting you where you wanna be, or do we need to tweak it?
Okay. Yeah, I totally thought this was going for November. I totally
No,
apologize
I know.
for the misunderstanding, miscommunication.
No, we looked into that pretty close. That was one of the things we were looking at, Mike, is the timing, and we don't,
Right on. Yeah, because I was like, well, this has got to be in August 1st. Like, what? Why is this now just being talked about? But yeah, I didn't know. Okay. Thank you.
are we
All right.
good?
So there's nothing for us to do at this
Nope.
point?
Nope.
Everybody good?
Well, I've been through that stuff at the county before, and I've had to go back 3 times to the county board.
Well, it may.
for-
He still has to bring it
So
back
it's
to
not
us, and we
first
still have
draft.
to review it and look at the maps and all that stuff, so,
And,
yeah.
and like I say, I'm not for it, you know that, and I just don't think it belongs in where kids are, and that's in that mall.
If we get the wording right, I think the county will, work with us, so,
Okay, good.
good.
All right, moving on, new business. I need a motion to approve the fireworks permit for the Maritime Days.
I'll make a motion to approve the Maritime Days firework permit.
Support?
They'll be August 4th at 10 p.m. dusk. All right, got a motion support, any discussion?
Excuse me, who was the support? I'm sorry.
Me.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry, that's the other way around.
Yes. Rita made the motion, I support it.
All righty, any discussion?
Yeah, just,
Okay.
I mentioned this to Scott, but the radius is nearby our water plant and we need to be extra careful. Scott had mentioned that this is the company that's done the fireworks for us before. They're very knowledgeable.
And the fire
they know
department will
everything.
be through that whole downtown
Oh, yeah.
to protect everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyway,
Okay?
Is it being off of a barge?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, because we had that one year, that it couldn't be,
Yeah.
we didn't get a barge and it was off of, the park. And in order for the fall protection, it was on the other side of Water Street. So we weren't,
Yeah, no, they drew like a map and there was a
Yeah.
radius and it was right in the middle of the river almost.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's going there or something.
I just wanted to make sure they weren't anchoring in our water inlet.
No, it'll be all right. Everybody good? Roll call.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yep.
Motion carried.
All righty. We have the next thing. Is there a resolution in there? Yes, it does have the thing.
It's really tiny.
Is it? All right, well, I'll just read it off here.
fine print.
Okay, I need a motion to approve resolution 021-2023, 457 plan administrator and trustee. We're gonna designate our city manager Adkins as the primary employer and treasurer finance director Katie Posey as the plan trustee. I need a motion and a second. Unless you wanna discuss anything or?
This was required as a result of changes in our finance director and treasurer. So we need to submit new resolutions to our plan
So
administrator.
you can manage the plan.
Correct.
Anything?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 021-2023 to allow Scott Atkins to be our plan administrator and Katie Posey to be our trustee. Is that correct?
Support.
Alrighty, any other discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep,
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yes.
Motion carried.
great. Next item, insurance plan renewal, Nickel and Saf. Anything there?
Yeah, I just want to share with the commission that we did not receive any of the renewal documents until the 24th of June. Of course, we were past our June meetings. I would recommend, of course, we do not want to go and be uninsured, that we approve the renewal with Nickel and Saf. We've had a good record with them, and the price increases I detailed are largely because of increases in value here at the city. However, it would be my intention moving forward that we will bid this out next year. Usually requires at least 90 days or more, but we didn't receive the documents until, as I mentioned, June 24th. So I'd ask for your consideration to approve our annual renewal with the understanding that we're going to be looking at bidding this next year, as I feel should be done.
Would this require also a waive of competitive bidding?
No, it's a renewal of professional services, I think you would be okay on that.
Okay.
And after looking through this, you've got the Guy Center removed?
Yes, there were some changes. They still have the Guy Center on as insured, and that's been changed. We had some corrected numbers on a couple of other items to our benefit.
The only thing I have is on the top of page 2, it says, since July 2021, 3 claims have been reported, 1 was closed and 2 are still pending. Do you have any idea?
Yeah, I don't believe we have any outstanding claims. I think they're in a pending hold status until they're completely closed out, which is usually the case until they get a final disposition.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, I need a motion to accept the annual property and casualty insurance renewal from Nickel and Saff in the amount of $133,570 as recommended.
I'll make a motion to accept the annual property and casualty insurance renewal from Nickel and Saff in the amount of $133,570 as recommended.
Support.
Any other discussion?
So does that number then, Scott, reflect what you mentioned about removing Guy Center or, 303 Water Street?
I expect, that number will be the purpose right now for approval and signing the renewal documents. I would expect that they will send us an amended agreement. We also are having a current reevaluation of the building values looked at to make sure that they're all up to snuff. So that would be the high water mark. I would expect that the number should be adjusted accordingly to the removal, and any increases should be offset. But right now, to get the renewal underway, that's the number provided in the documentation, if that makes any sense. There will be an adjustment. I don't know what that exact dollar amount will be.
We did it at the fire authority, and they came back and they had to increase because the building wasn't enough, but we covered that. So until they come out and look at everything, you won't know.
It does
okay.
appear that.
So we'll need like a second, this is just
There
to
could
agree,
be.
let's use Nickel and Saff. And then a subsequent one would be, okay, here's actually the final number? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, pretty much. We're approving the renewal based upon their early numbers
Their
to
current
go with Nickel and
estimate.
Saff. Same changes on the structure of the policy. There will likely be adjustments because, again, we've already found one building that shouldn't be there, and we'll have an adjusted number. But yeah, for purposes of renewal, Nickel and Saff approving the annual renewal of property liability coverage.
Okay. Should we alter the motion then slightly, just because it was so specific on that number?
No,
I
you
think
leave.
because they provided that document to us with that number and invoice, that would be the number we would approve here, Commission. And then again, if there's any adjustment, it'll generally be a policy credit or those type of items that will come forward. And then we'll get a credit memo from the insurance company.
Okay.
So
Or if it's an increase, it's a budget.
If the number goes up, I think the number comes back to you. If the number
Yeah.
goes down, we just move along. And it might, in this case, go down.
Okay.
Yeah, you took a whole building.
Right, we took a whole structure off.
Okay. Anything else? Roll call.
Commissioner Rohr,
Yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes, with that being a maximum, the number given being a maximum.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, next item, city clerk agreement for Jason Bell. Can I have a motion to accept the city clerk agreement for him as presented?
I will make a motion that we accept the city clerk agreement for Jason Bell as submitted.
second. Support.
Okay,
Ooh, that was a tie.
Yeah. Discussion. Any questions?
I just want to say I'm just happy to have him agree to the job, and he's been doing amazing, and I know he's going to continue doing that. Thanks, Jason.
Yes, we thank you.
And Jason, my understanding too is you're also continuing some of the work over at the police station, so it's a kind of win-win for you, win-win for us, and again, appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
And we did reserve Jason's right to return to that old position for 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
After that, he's stuck with you guys.
Sorry, man.
All right, anything else for the contract? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Ross,
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yep.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr,
Yes,
motion carried.
All right, board vacancies. We got 3 appointments for the planning commission. I'm assuming these are the 3. Are these renewals? These 3? All right.
Bill Butel is unquestionably a renewal. I'm not sure about that.
They all are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, they all are.
They're all reappointments, yes.
Okay.
And Graham isn't, for sure.
All right.
So,
So, I'll make the motion, the first one for Madeline McCarthy, to reappoint to the planning commission.
Support?
Any discussion? All those in, oh, you got a roll call. Roll call.
Roll call.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yeah.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
yes,
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I'll make a motion that we appoint William Butel, reappoint William Butel to the planning commission.
Support?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hendrick.
Yep. All right, I'll make a motion that we appoint Graham Allen, reappoint Graham Allen back to the, planning commission.
Support?
Any discussion there? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, is this next one, is this a reappointment or a new one? Any idea?
So Tifa is reappointment. He's the chair.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we reappoint Craig May to the TIFA board.
Support?
All right, any discussion there? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Rory,
yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, next one. Community and Economic Development Board, one business appointment. So we only have one. Mr. Warner?
This is new. This is not a reappointment.
This is new.
Yes.
So you have a business license with the city?
No.
Does that matter? I mean, does it matter where the business is? I guess I need to know what this position, if it's a city business appointment or do we know?
Well, Mr. Davis, can you clarify on that, possibly? We couldn't find anything in our ordinance that suggests otherwise. It was just a business representative.
Non-statutory.
Yeah. I don't think, you don't have anything in the city, right? There's,
No, I mean, I run my business out of my home.
I think we're good.
Okay,
Do you conduct business with anybody within the city?
No.
I guess for me that would be, are we to the discussion? I'm sorry.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, we're still,
yeah, I guess for me that would be a little bit of a problem. I mean, I don't know, I would like to give a little more time for some other people to step up maybe for this, because, you know, traditionally I think with a business member being on that board, the whole point of it is because this business member is in the community and talks with various people of the community, and that adds value to the board. And I don't think like a business member running a business out of his house that doesn't do business with anybody in the city is really advantageous.
I guess I'd have to, I don't remember how we set up the board.
no, it wasn't as crystal clear as you would hope. It just says, you know,
A
business.
business owner, but I
Right.
think the intent was,
May have been,
I mean, it's, yeah, the board is to create businesses with the city and to have somebody from the business community within the city to add their,
well, let me ask this question. And I don't mean to put you on the spot here. If somebody runs it out of their house, are they supposed to have a business license?
that was a hot thing, wasn't it?
It could be dependent on the type of.
it depends on the type of business he runs. You know, what Lisa, in today's society, a lot of people are working from
I
their
understand.
home. And not all of them are getting business license, I don't think,
Correct.
because I would have to get one. But I don't think that's the case.
All right.
So I don't know the intent of what was in the thought process of having a business owner. Are you looking, were we looking to have business type input into the process?
The original
Or-
intent, since I was there when the board was created, was that it was a business owner in the city because you wanted to have representation from people here. I don't know how it was written up, but that was the original.
No, it
intent.
just says business owner. a business owner.
So it doesn't
What
say a
does it say?
business owner of Marine City.
I think it just says a business
Business
owner.
owner.
Yes.
Is that right, Jason?
Can I ask you a question?
No, I believe it just says business
What
representative.
is your reason
Or
for
business
applying for the
representative.
board?
Yeah, business representative, that's the wording.
Okay.
You have vacancies, and I have experience in, I worked for 12 years, 13 years, at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, so the biggest chamber of commerce there is.
I
And
just,
you need volunteers, right?
okay. So he could bring a different perspective in, and he does own a business.
Mhm.
It has business experience and background.
Right.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, we have a hard enough time, I guess, at this point, getting people, so.
Yeah,
Doors
because
are-
it's been months,
Yeah,
right?
the doors are not being beaten down,
And you obviously you live in the city, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so I guess,
I mean, I'd go knock on some businesses' doors. I'll go talk to some, because honestly, people, I know the Kmart Plaza people, they feel like they're not being helped out by the Chamber of Commerce very much, and they don't really have very much representation as far as that goes. They're not getting helped out a lot there with business promotion, and they have some concerns, so maybe, if one of them are asked, they could consider it.
well, they would have to put in, I mean,
Most of them don't even watch these meetings or know that you're even, they don't even know that this is probably going on.
I'm not concerned, you don't watch the meetings.
Well, it's not, okay, I guess I didn't use the right word, they're just busy and don't necessarily have the time to pay attention like many
here,
people.
so we don't
have
get
jobs.
bogged down here, how about we just hold off one more meeting?
We-
I mean, or
We've also, we've had it on cable, we've.
you've
Yeah.
had
you've
it
done
on the web.
everything.
We're just,
All right.
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's the place, so many communities are saying that,
Yeah.
there just aren't a lot of people volunteering.
Then,
So Rosalie was volunteering all the
Yeah.
time, for
Yeah.
everything. But there really are. That's,
yeah, so,
I'm gonna make a motion that we do hold off for at least one more month, so I can knock on some doors and make sure that these people know that there's a vacancy, because I truly don't even think they know there is.
how about at least till next meeting?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Is that good?
Well, if there's a motion to set aside until the next meeting, if it's seconded, then you act on that motion.
Okay, motion set aside to the next meeting.
Got a second? Nothing?
Motion fails.
Can I make a motion to appoint him to that board?
Need a second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Discussion, unless there's any more discussion, we'll do a roll call. I think we've had quite a bit of discussion here. Roll call.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
No.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, next one is Marine City Area Fire Authority. These are reappointments, so I'll make the motions because I know who the people are. One is myself. I need to be reappointed, if that's all right with everyone else. I'm the chair of the Fire Authority. So it's a reappointment. I'll make the motion.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yeah.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yep. All right, next one, we need a reappointment of Mark Posey, who is another member of the Fire Authority. I'll make the motion to reappoint Mark Posey.
Support.
That way. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yeah.
Motion carried.
All right, next one, I need to, I'll make a motion to reappoint Justin McCarty to the Fire Authority as member at large.
Support.
Roll call.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yeah.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, on to 11F here, I think we're at. Board vacancy announcements. We still need one for the library board and one for the planning commission. I'm assuming. All right. So if you want to put in for either one of those boards, please see our clerk. All right, the next one is the SCADA pump station technology purchase.
Madam Chair, Mr. Schmidt, our superintendent of the DPW, is obviously out with his crew on the cleanup of the unanticipated storm today. He has requested and has provided documentation for you for the consideration to approve the purchase of the SCADA technology equipment for our utility operations. This would be a request to waive competitive bids. SCADA is a proprietary software program and proprietary hardware that we already have in place in the city, so this is upgrading to our existing system. The amount is $22,325. It is a budgeted replacement item.
Okay. So first we need a motion to waive competitive bidding for Team UIS SCADA.
I'll make a motion that we waive competitive bidding for Team UIS SCADA due to the circumstances that it's a proprietary system, etc. They're the only ones that make it, and it's in use in our system.
Support.
All right, any discussion? If not, roll call.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yep.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the purchase now.
I'll make a motion to approve this, the SCADA pump station technology purchase.
$22,325.
State the amount.
$22,325.
$22,325.
Support.
Great. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yep.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, moving on to the next one. Plow truck purchase, chassis purchase.
So this would be a request to authorize the purchase of a 2024 plow truck chassis. The documentation is provided. This has been bid under the Michigan My Deal, Michigan competitive bid system, meaning the state of Michigan has done all the work of going and finding the bid at the lowest price. So this will be purchased from Tri-County International Trucks, which is the authorized My Bid dealer. And again, a 2024 purchase of a plow truck. 2024 international specifications are provided, and the amount on this, and I apologize because there are a lot of pages here. We get to the last page, 88,000.
$480.43.
Yeah, thanks, I couldn't get the last page.
And this was already budgeted, correct?
This is a budgeted.
Correct.
I am correct.
So first, we need a motion to waive competitive bidding because we can't get any better deal than
No,
through
you
My
already,
Deal.
it is competitive bid.
It's just that the work has been
I know.
done through the state of Michigan.
I'm asking for motion to waive competitive bidding. That's what you have on here. No? We don't
Well,
need
I
to
think
in
we
this
still
one?
need
It does
Go
not
ahead.
under my
Go ahead and do it.
bid, it doesn't hurt if you do.
Go ahead and do it.
I'm just following the script here.
We're just checking on
They've
it.
done it for
Alright.
us.
I'll make a motion that we waive competitive bidding on this due to the fact that MI Deal has already done the bid work for us.
Well said, Commissioner.
Need a second?
Support.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yeah.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
motion
Now-
carried.
Now I need a motion to approve the purchase of the plow truck chassis from Tri-County International Trucks in the amount of $88,480.43.
Yeah, I mean, it's already budgeted and
Correct.
this is the price, so sure. I will make a motion that we purchase the truck from Tri-County International Trucks in the amount of $88,480.43.
Okay, any discussion?
Nobody seconded it.
Support.
Thanks, Bill. Roll call.
Wait, now discussion.
Oh, you want to?
No, I'm just saying the protocol.
I did have a question. This letter says, it's not available,
No.
so we're just waiting because of supply chain and all that.
We're in advance purchase on a 2024 model.
Yep.
Okay, all right. That's all.
Okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, the next one, this is for the truck and trailers. You wanna talk on that? Is that
Yeah.
just the rest of it?
So in order to make the purchase just authorized for a chassis, truly a plow truck, this is the second part of this, which is the purchase of the equipment to be fitted onto that truck from Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated. So just be familiar with our plow trucks. This is the back portion, the dump box, all of the electronics, the hoist, all of the guts that make it a plow truck. Again, would ask for Commission's consideration to approve, first of all, waiving competitive bid. This is also a my deal, my bid process, and then authorizing the purchase from Truck and Trailer Specialties for the plow truck equipment, and that would be in the amount of $91,325.
and this is already budgeted.
This is again budgeted.
Yep, part of the
together.
truck.
Okay.
So I need a motion to waive competitive bidding first.
I'll make a motion to waive competitive bidding on the, attachments,
Upfitting.
equipment, for the truck, to the tune of $91,300.
No, just waiving.
Oh, we're
Just
just waiving,
Yeah.
just waiving the competitive bidding because it's a my deal. Right? Okay.
Support.
All right, discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Rory,
Yes,
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we're moving along here. So now we have a contract through the DPW for the biomaterials
No,
disposal.
we have to
The
purchase
actual-
the
Oh,
bid.
I'm sorry.
We just
Skipped
waived
one.
competitive bidding.
All right, give me a motion to purchase the DPW plow truck equipment from Truck and Trailer Specialties in the amount of $91,325.
Make a motion that we purchase the plow truck equipment upfit from Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated in the amount of $91,325 and no cents.
Got one question real quick. How much is the annual fee to my deal?
My deal, I believe that if we're paying a fee to my deal, it generally has been less than a couple $100 a year. I don't know if they are any longer charging for my deal because you can get into the my bid process just by an online subscription. So it's unlike some of the other competitive bids where you have to pay thousands of dollars in. I can certainly get that information for you, but I believe it's.
It says a nominal fee here, how to join my deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have it as an annual membership, and it's just a few $100s to be able to do, because it's a broad spectrum of equipment and supplies.
So my deal and my bid, those are two separate things or the same thing?
They are the same process.
All same process. Okay. I mean, I just don't see where it says members benefit directly from the reduced cost of goods and services and indirectly by eliminating the time needed to process. Okay, okay. All right, and read the last part.
Yeah, we've used them for a long, long time, and you really can't beat the deals from them.
Yeah,
And I don't know much about them. Is this just like
State.
heavy equipment type stuff? Or
No,
why don't we
police
always
cars.
use this?
Yeah,
Our police vehicles we just purchased, those were under a competitive bid. And again, whether it's my bid or my deal, they are the same, same process. So what they do is these organizations do a statewide bid process. For instance, the police cars were purchased with, I believe, an Oakland County subcontract. So they find the best deals by doing all of the legwork for us instead of us having to send out publications and seek these bids. They identify dealers that are authorized for equipment, for vehicles, furniture. I mean, there's a great depth of things, and it's only available to municipalities.
And they just tell you this is it. This is the lowest thing, and
Yeah, they
just
put it
take
out
the-
and they have it
Do you
clearly
get like a list
identified.
of other prices that were available and how it's low? I mean,
Yeah, no,
or just take
they
the word for
identify,
it?
they identify all of the bids through a bid process. It has to be done, they have to do it publicly. All of that information is available, and then they provide the lowest price for the vehicle you were seeking, so.
What do they provide to you, though? What kind of information do they provide to you to let you know that's the lowest bid?
So what they do is when we request an item, we specify what type of vehicle we're looking for, in this case,
No, I understand that.
international.
I'm saying-
And then what they do is they will they ask engine size and those type of uses, and there's a whole category of what you're looking for to match up. And then they'll say, okay, we've got a bid from Tri-City International, here's a bid from ABC International, and here's from
Yeah, they give you all the
XYZ.
bids. They
And
give you all
then
the
you have all the bids to be
Could
able
we
to
get
choose.
those? Could we see those in the future? I would like to see.
Yeah, they're
them.
available. I mean, what Jeff has provided you is just the spec of this company.
Right.
But yeah, all of them, and we do this it's online process, so we can
Yeah,
download all of
just
them.
for the public's benefit,
Yeah.
to see the actual numbers and know that, this was
Yeah.
the lowest one, and,
Yeah.
I think that's advantageous, and just
Yeah,
a little
it's
more
all available.
transparency, but it's like, oh, the government just told us, the
Yeah.
state just told us this was the lowest one, so I'd like to see some.
They provide all of this and we can access that.
Yeah, so if that could be included in the packets in the future, I'd appreciate that.
Okay? So we're all set, just need a roll call? Okay.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, now we go on to the DPW contract approval for the biomaterials disposal.
This would be a request for the commission to consider authorizing the contract approval for biosolid removal. We have in the past utilized another company, however, they no longer wish to work with City of Marine City. They obviously have the reasons they've taken on larger contracts. However, there are only 2 of these organizations that work in this area. You have the information for Biotech Agro. This is for the testing, removal, and land application of the biosolids for the wastewater treatment plant. I will tell you, they're a very qualified company, and in fact, their pricing is lower than what we paid with our previous provider. So again, it's professional services, request consideration of the commission approving entering into the contractual agreement for biomaterial disposal with Biotech Agronomics Incorporated.
You said there's 2 companies in the area that do this?
Yeah, we currently have been using another company for quite some time, and
And
they did not, again, choose to re-extend pricing for the city.
Those are the only 2.
The only 2, they have to be approved and licensed by the DNR and DEQ, so these are the 2 within the area. I mean, I suppose there are some in the UP and other areas, but then you're paying for trucking and disposal and those costs, so Biotech did respond back.
These companies have to have land farming permits because they
Take
actually
it
land,
out.
they sort of land farm the.
Do we have to
materials.
waive competitive bidding again?
Yeah, we're going to.
Well, and this is a good question for the attorney, whether you need to, because it's really not a bid process, it's per,
We only
commodities
have
and per
one.
weight, but it's a professional service for us, so I don't know which way you've treated it in the past.
I would just go ahead and waive competitive bidding
Just to make sure.
as a limited market and specialties.
Okay. So I need a motion to waive competitive bidding.
I'll make a motion that we waive competitive bidding for Biotech Agronomics Incorporated due to the fact that the only other biosolid waste removal company in the area opted not to bid or submit pricing, and this is the only other one
Support.
All right.
in the area.
Can I get a roll call vote?
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink,
No.
Yep.
sorry,
No.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes,
All right.
motion carried.
No.
No.
It fails.
fails because competitive bidding has to be
Oh,
unanimous.
It has to be unanimous, which means now we have to bid it out, which means it's going to cost us more money.
So,
Well, you also have another problem, you have biosolids in your plant that you're not gonna be able
Yeah.
to dispose of.
So the last time we had these competitive bidding waived without quotes, I understand the ideal thing. Jim Haslip was up there and promised that he would bring some numbers for us to review and just to make sure that this is the lowest we could do. And I don't see any other numbers.
The problem
We
with
don't
this
have
one
another
is you don't
company to
have
give
anybody
numbers.
else to do it.
But
Okay, so when this stuff backs up at the wastewater, I understand what you're saying, Mike, because again, I've asked the same thing for certain cases, but because I know about this here is all your crap down at that crap plant, and it's gotta go somewhere soon. And they have to put it in a truck and haul it out and get it out of here, otherwise,
It backs up.
Well, we're required by DEQ regulations.
Why didn't the other company wanna do it?
They just chose not to respond to continue the contract with us.
So you
And-
have-
I think they took on some bigger clients, Mike.
I mean, we understand they have a number of clients, they just chose not to continue providing us with the quotation to do this work. That's their choice, they didn't give us any reason, they just did not respond.
And when you say in the area, what exactly does that mean?
That are operating here close under,
What's,
you know,
what, in
DEQ
your
license.
definition, what's?
Well, Commissioner, if you'd asked me these questions prior to the meeting, I could have had answers. I don't have them now. I mean, I'll get you them, but you're asking me a lot of questions. I'm not
I know,
DPW
it's the
superintendent.
problem, it's the transitions through city managers and prior communications that get lost.
I mean, I understand, but I can't give you these answers, I just don't have them. I mean, I can work to get the answers, Mr. Schmidt probably has them, but there are, and I can just tell you from my experience, there are not many of these companies that are licensed to do this through the state. We're required to have a licensed disposal company. And, you know, it is unfortunate that the other company chose not to bid, even if their pricing was going to be higher. They just didn't respond. So then you're seeking someone else who's on the list from the DEQ that's within your immediate area.
Again,
they
what is
provide
that
the service.
immediate area, is that, where we're
Southeast
talking
Michigan.
30 miles, 40 miles, 50 miles?
Again, I can't tell you that. I don't know that answer.
We do know that the pricing we're getting is lower than what we were paying, but you guys operate under a permit that requires the timely and systematic removal of these biosolids. And then there's companies that get land farming and disposal permits from the state of Michigan. Mike, I'm not gonna be able to answer your question either, but there's only a few. You know, Detroit, the system in Detroit uses land farming, and there's only so many permits that.
I'm gonna be pro bidding every single time. That's why I'm asking questions about my deal and stuff, because it's like.
No, I get it.
I wanna see actual companies, actual numbers, and they were 3 times, 4 times now, we're waiving competitive bidding, and I'm not seeing any numbers to why we're doing it. This one, the plant, so I hear some emergencies and stuff.
well,
But-
not emergencies,
You can't get anybody else to
No,
bid.
it's
you
permit.
have to get rid of it.
No, I
It's a
understand,
permit
but
requirement.
there is other companies out there.
We don't have the time, though.
Well, I know
I
we
know,
have to
that's
use
not my
companies that the
point. My
DEQ
point is,
authorized also.
before I asked to see numbers, and we're still not seeing numbers.
Well, I
That
know you
is
haven't
my
asked
issue.
me, and I would have provided anything knowing. I apologize.
He's correct.
I didn't have it.
This was per the prior city manager.
Yeah,
And I guess that's where the communication breakdown happened.
Yeah,
And
I-
it isn't your fault.
yeah, I mean, I would have it, if I had it, I'd give it to you, I wasn't aware.
So I will go along with this now that you're aware that when,
Oh, I understand, this is not how I generally, work on these things, but here we are again with a company who has been with us for a number of years that failed to respond, and now they kind of have put us in a tough position because by our permit for our plant operations,
Right.
we have to dispose of this, and, the DEQ says, here are the companies. So I totally understand where you're at.
even
We're
if
just-
the other companies are out of the area, just bring the numbers, like just so
Yeah,
I can make sure, the public can make sure
Oh, no,
that we are getting the
Yeah,
lowest
I
thing.
don't disagree with your approach in this, it's just that here we are, kind of in the 11th hour with our backs against the wall from a company that said, hey, we're not gonna do business with you.
Yeah.
Here's one on
And
the,
I'm the first one, again, that wants things bid out, but I also understand this particular one, you don't have time now. It's too late.
Right. See, okay, I just want, honestly, I didn't want to wait, I just wanted to make my point, to
Oh,
be
absolutely.
perfectly honest with you.
Correct.
yeah, understanding this one too, Commissioner, this is usually based on a volume, which fluctuates on how much materials we have too, so
Yeah.
unlike a normal bid where we're going to have the truck, here's the 91,325 bid, here's 97,415, here's 92, whatever. This one is gonna be a little bit different of a bid because it's gonna be a generalized quantity number, which will fluctuate based on how much material we have to.
I mean, you're asking the companies the same basic questions, right?
It's a cubic yard.
Yeah, how much per yard, how much
Yeah.
transportation costs, those type of things.
So, like I said, I just want to
Yeah,
see
I get it.
numbers from other companies, so we
Yeah,
know.
and just so you
That's,
know.
I'm not like, try to separate this as
Yeah,
the,
I will
the
get
waste
you anything
plan.
you ever need, but I just didn't have any heads up or knowledge prior to this, so.
So we definitely need to take care of this.
No, actually, yes, I like I said, I was just
How
gonna
do you
make
want us
that
to
point,
redo
because
this?
honestly, I.
So you
could I
do,
finish
my,
Vote to reconsider.
you vote to reconsider, you vote on that first, and then you redo the motion.
So there's a lot of things that we say here at this table that don't necessarily get done. And me personally, I'm kind of getting tired of it. So that's why I'm making a point of, we gotta start following through with what we ask the administration to do.
But as a new guy, you gotta give him the
Yes,
opportunity.
yes, but I needed to make my point. That's how-
Communication is always helpful.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street.
And I wasn't aware that, maybe he watched the meeting, I don't know, but I'm never gonna be okay with waiving competitive bidding without seeing actual numbers, unless there's only a single place to get it from.
Yes, and in this case right now, that's it.
No, that's in the area,
It's true, but
In
you're
the-
not gonna get anybody that's gonna truck in from a long distance to come spread this stuff in a local
Then
farm.
Show,
Well, you're gonna pay more.
Well, you may, but your cost is gonna
It's
reflect.
gonna be higher.
then show them, all I'm asking for is the numbers, that's all.
Okay.
In the future, we'll,
Yeah, fine.
So
Scott
you
will
have
make
to-
sure.
Does the vote to reconsider need to be from somebody who voted negatively? Or
Mike,
it can be from anybody?
well, Mike should make the motion.
I would make a motion to reconsider.
And then somebody seconds that
I'll
motion.
support.
Okay,
Now, you vote only on the motion to reconsider. You're not voting on the substance. You're just voting on whether or not you're gonna reconsider.
roll call or regular?
Regular vote.
Okay.
And before you do, I just want to make a clarification too. Generally, these are done with folks that are in your immediate area because of the cost consideration being lower. You'll notice that this group is actually from northern Michigan, but they're on the Michigan DEQ qualified list. That is our bigger issues. We have to have somebody that is DEQ licensed to do this in a plant. So again,
Where in Northern Michigan? Sorry, I didn't know.
their
Where
offices
is
are
that?
Beulah, which is near Traverse City. So
Oh,
again,
so that's not even in an area.
yeah, so again, you're usually trying to get somebody in the area. Our other company was closer, and they chose not to bid.
So
But
this is
you
what
have
I'm
to use
saying.
somebody on the DEQ list.
If there was some other out of the area, other than Traverse City is not in the area, so like.
Yeah, but I mean, they have operations in the Detroit area, they have multiple contracts,
But
but I mean, this is
it
their
says
home, this is their
Louisville,
home office.
Michigan, and now we're kind of talking in circles and.
Well, this is very frustrating, Commissioner, and, if the commission wishes to pass on this, we do have a meeting in a couple weeks. I'm glad to get you any information, but I'd like to talk to you after so we have a clear understanding.
Yeah.
This isn't the way to conduct business, this is not how I like to conduct business, and it's very frustrating because I want to get answers for all of you and for the public, but this is kind of counterproductive. So, I'd be glad to talk with you a few minutes after the meeting.
Okay, any other discussion on reconsidering? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, so now you can remake your motion to waive competitive bidding.
All right. So, you wanna make your motion again?
Sure.
Here, you can read it right up here, how's that? Right here.
I'll make a motion to waive competitive bidding for biomaterials disposal for Biotech Agronomics Incorporated.
Support.
All righty, any discussion? Hopefully not, we'll keep moving here. Roll call.
Commissioner Hilferink,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick.
Yes.
Motion
All right.
carried.
Before I get the motion, is there any, so this is per units, so we don't know what the,
It all
You
depends
have
on
no-
how much we have on a quarterly basis.
so we don't need a figure, is all I'm saying.
No, we need, commodity and transportation figure as they provided, but again, it fluctuates
Okay.
based, depending on the amount of waste we have.
So I need a motion to approve, well, I'll just make the motion to approve the contract for biomaterials disposal from Biotech Ergonomics as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
One moment, please.
Trying to see.
I ran out of sheets.
We're running out of
Oh, I
light
ran out of
here, so-
sheets.
And light, yeah.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Rohr,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Hilferink.
No.
Motion carried.
All right, last thing for the regular stuff is, item K that we added to impose an enforcement moratorium on the enforcement of 158-155 vacant building ordinance for additional review by the city commission. I asked for this.
6 month moratorium.
A 6 month. You didn't give me that one for 6 month. All right. I asked for some of this to be put on there because there's been a lot of issues with that vacant building ordinance. We've had a lot of businesses come in. Some were on there that really should not have been on there. So until we get all the details worked out, we'd like to just put a moratorium on this until it can be brought back to the commission for more discussion. Is that good with everybody?
Wait, didn't you say there was a sunset in July? I'm sorry.
There's a review in December, mandatory.
Oh, I thought.
Well, was
One
it
was
a year?
October and one was,
I thought it was at the end of the year, or 1 year, was that 1 year?
If it's 1 year, this was approved July 22nd of last year. Yeah, so we're right at that point now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought it was
Okay.
a year-to-year thing.
I think that was that other ordinance.
It was built in, Mike, to review this anyways.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, what exactly are we doing right now?
We're gonna put a moratorium so that nobody's gonna get any tickets, nobody's gonna have to pay. We're not gonna issue anything until we can get back into this ordinance and discuss whether we want it, when we wanna fix it, we wanna do whatever we wanna do based on the issues that our city manager's taking in, because it's not working.
Right, but what is the sunset, what does that mean then?
That means, basically, no more.
What we're doing right now is you have an ordinance. We're suspending the enforcement of the ordinance.
Yeah.
But the ordinance did have a clause in it saying you passed it subject to it being reviewed in 1 year.
Oh, just reviewed, not.
Just reviewed, not sunset.
Okay, that's where, because I thought
Yes.
sunset was go away.
I heard the word and
Not
no.
Yeah, because I
Just
thought
reviewed.
somebody had said
It
that
was
was.
passed subject to you guys making sure, and I think, Brian, you were instrumental on this. You wanted.
I was the one that said I wanted it reviewed in a year.
Mhm.
Yes, and that is how it was
Okay, that
passed.
was my confusion was because I thought somebody had said sunset.
Yep, you heard that word, I heard that word.
Alrighty, so is that good with everybody?
So we should do a roll call vote on passing a moratorium.
So
Not passing a
Motion
or
we need the motion
a
first.
suspension?
It's a
That's
moratorium on enforcement.
Okay.
You're not getting rid of the ordinance, you're not canceling the ordinance, you're not
Okay.
terminating
You want to
the
use
ordinance. You're suspending its enforcement.
And you want it for 6 months?
Yes.
If you'd like to make the motion. If not, I'll make it.
Go for it.
All right, action to impose an enforcement moratorium on the enforcement of the vacant building ordinance to allow for additional review of the ordinance by the city commission for the next 6 months.
Support.
Is that good? All right, any other discussion on it? Because it's gonna come later anyway. Do we need a roll call on that?
Yes.
Discussion wise, I mean, Scott, have you been hearing a lot of complaints? I know I had one person that I sent your way in terms of, although that was for a renewal of a business license.
Although likely there's a tie-in. So
Okay.
I've had, including that issue, 5 businesses that I have either spoken with directly at their business or on the phone or at City Hall. And I've shared that there are some concerns that we do have some gray areas between the business license ordinance and the vacant building ordinance that certainly need to be cleared up, and some discussion as a whole with the commission of potential amendments or repeal or whatever direction, based on, again, some of those issues that have been raised by businesses that pretty much fall into a gray or unscripted area that really need to be looked at and taken into consideration.
Okay.
I know
And
I took
again,
it.
including the one that you shared with me, and I appreciate it.
And
Commissioner
I
Hendricks has shared-
brought one
shared one.
because it really didn't apply, but, so that's why we need
Yeah,
to look
I
at it.
didn't think the one who reached out to me applied either, so.
And there's a few on the list, I pulled the list, I don't have the updated list though, I have only the first list.
Right, there was some missing, and
And
again,
if you look at that list, there's people on there, I mean, there's one guy that he retired and he's not running the shop anymore. So we need to address some of that stuff.
So will it go on the next meeting?
It may take a meeting or two because we're also going to be gathering some examples from other communities of how they've handled it. Maybe can help us bridge the confusion or get us some future direction on whether it's going to be repealed or amended or changed. So I would hope that it's going to be, within the next month.
Okay.
Not
As long as it's
probably not
not
enough
6
time for the
months,
first
right?
meeting of August, but hopefully enough time for the second meeting of August.
Okay.
Okay,
And this is a 6 months moratorium.
Yep.
okay, everybody good? Roll call.
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Ross,
Yes.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yep,
Commissioner Hilferink.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Motion carried.
all right, moving on here, city attorney's report, anything?
All good, thank you.
All right?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
what's going on in UHY?
We will talk about that in the next, it's on your schedule for your next closed session.
Next whole session?
Yeah, we will,
Perfect.
we won't talk about it here.
No, I know, I just wanted to, because I know I've been
It's
asking.
ongoing, Mike. It's, you're gonna have to sit, you're gonna have to listen to an analysis of the contract and some of the things that I've learned,
Right on.
but we'll go through it in close.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, anything else? All right, city manager's report.
Sure, I have a couple items. First of all, condolences to Mayor Van Bosch for passing her mother, and so condolences to her and her family. Deep appreciation to the DPW, certainly our first responders, police and fire, for the past now 2 storm-related incidents, almost back to back. They've really been on top of it, and I think they've done an excellent job. We've learned a few things along the way of some improvements we can make as far as acquiring some equipment that'll come before the commission to help improve the service to our residents. And just want to remind, even though we're not obviously recording audio-wise, but we'll get the message out. I want to remind our residents that if they have a city tree, which is generally between the curb and the sidewalk, and have an issue with the tree, to contact the DPW. If they do have an issue with a private tree, that's something that's outside of our scope, but certainly if there's any question, reach out to the DPW. They can come out and assess whether it is a city tree or a private tree on the property for any damage. And if people are putting materials out for curbside pickup, our rubbish contract does allow for pickup of materials, and we have the information on the city website under the guidelines for rubbish collection of the size of putting those materials out, bulking them together, tying them, and that would be very helpful. And then hopefully we'll have an opportunity to be able to look at some potential expanded services here to our residents in the future for chipping and those type of things. Master plan and recreation plan update are underway with our consultant with the Planning Commission. The community survey is now live on the city website, and I'll be sending information out to the commission and various boards and committees of how to access that community survey. We'll also be live at Maritime Days on Saturday, the 5th of August, to solicit information from our residents, our businesses, and visitors to fill out and complete the survey. More information to follow, and again, we're going to be promoting that. And there's also a nice little fancy QR code, so you can take your phone and it'll take you right to a link. But it is live now on the city website, and we'll also be some other materials. And then congratulations to the reappointments and appointments to our boards, committees, and groups. That's all I have.
Okay,
First question.
anything for him?
Yeah, I know we mentioned, I don't even know how many meetings back now, about getting a workshop going for business promotion and retention along with the CD board. Do we have plans to set that up?
We'll be back to workshops in August. We just passed, because of the shortened schedule for July, figuring that we'd have a lot of items on this meeting.
So August, next meeting, second, fourth, third meeting?
Generally, second meeting. We had talked before about changing our format, but I don't think we're gonna look to change the format from workshop, business meeting until September, October, but workshop meetings on topics will resume next month. We have 2 meeting a month
The
scheduled.
second meeting. Okay. And updates on the Washington Life Center property?
I think you probably received my update that the school superintendent had to cancel the meeting that we had scheduled. I've asked for a reschedule with her, and I have not received any rescheduled date from her. I am going to be sending a letter to the superintendent and to the copy to the school board, basically with our initial offer saying we'd like to purchase this property to push that dialogue.
Do we have a proposal put together?
I have just the direction that we had discussed at a previous workshop meeting of a starting point going forward on a basic dollar amount, and then a high water mark that you had set between 35 and 50. was the range. So I'm gonna start low, and we'll try to work our way through. We'll either get an answer that they're willing to continue to have discussions and negotiate, or they'll pass. But I think in light of not being able to get a meeting, the last meeting was canceled on part of the superintendent, putting it in writing and sending forward to her and copying the Board of Education, I think is the best way.
I'm just really confused because I had several meetings with her, several phone calls in the span of 2 weeks. And really all she wanted from us was just a proposal.
Commissioner, I'm telling you, I can show you my emails, the phone messages, I can share with you her last email. She canceled the meeting on July 10th and said that she would reach out to reschedule. She has not. I've reached back out, and I have still yet to hear about
I think
rescheduling.
maybe that's the frustration though. Honestly,
Believe
because
me, I have it as well.
well, no, I'm saying with her in the meetings because I had already discussed this with her and she talked with the board about it. And hold on.
I can only tell you what.
So she discussed it with the board, reviewed the lease.
So you reached out to her.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just said I met with her 3 times.
So you like to do my job?
No.
Well,
This was actually when
apparently-
Jim was here.
Apparently,
This was actually
I'm
when Jim
trying
was
to tell
here.
you, I'm trying to do this, but if you've reached out to her and you have the magic key, share it with me. Because I'd like to be able to find out what it is.
I'm just
I can't
communicating-
make her meet with me,
I'm just communicating what she wanted, and what she wanted was a proposal.
Which is what he's trying to.
which I'm trying to get to her. But
Is
she
it- but
didn't indicate that to me.
Is it? I'm not lying to you about it.
I didn't say
she
you
wants
were.
a
I said she
proposal
has not indicated
to
to me
give to
to
the
send her a
board.
proposal.
She wants a proposal
Did
to
I
give to
just
the
not
board.
state that I'm going to give a proposal? She did not ask me for that. I'm going to present one to her.
But I'm telling you, she asked me,
She did not ask me. That's what I'm telling you.
and that's what she wants. Is a
I'm not a mind
proposal.
reader.
And she's a busy lady.
Well, you think I'm not?
Do we need like a motion to make a proposal?
Do you not think that I'm busy as well? I mean, I'm trying to do this
No, I
with the
understand.
superintendent.
I understand.
I
already,
don't understand. So
I
I'd like to
already met with her 3 times on this.
That's great, but she hasn't met with me, and we have exchanged back and forth. We had a meeting set. She notified me within a couple of days of the meeting that she had a personal family matter that she needed to tend to, and she would reach out to reschedule. I've now given her a week to reschedule. I've reached back out to make sure it hasn't fallen off the radar. I am waiting for her, and I had just said, in light of hearing from her, I'm going to put a letter together based on the direction that this commission has previously given me, saying we are interested in purchasing this property. Here is a starting offer. We would like to meet and have discussion. If the school board is not interested, please.
No, they are. She already said they are. So
She did not say, what I'm
But
saying.
it still has to go public.
She hasn't responded to me.
I understand. So is this letter, is that technically a proposal? Or would that be something they
It
still would
will
have to
be
do
a
after that?
stepping off point if they're interested, and I will include the first piece based on the direction that the commission has given. We said starting at 35,000, and hopefully that will kick off a negotiation process. Or if they're not interested in selling, then something saying we're not interested.
See, my frustration is this is why government moves so slow. It's like always people trying to get back and forth, and like I already did all the legwork to this, and she literally told me she just needs a proposal to take to the board.
But here's the thing, Mike, you're
What she
only
wants.
one person, you're not the board. He has to go as the board, and he has to do it as the board.
Didn't we already?
Yes, we've already authorized him to do that, and that's what he's
And
trying
I've
to do.
already reached out to her.
She's not responding quickly enough, even for what Scott wants, is the problem.
And I realize she's a busy lady as well. But I reached out. I'm at her whim of her calendar and her schedule. That's why I'm going with the alternate route of providing a letter. That was not the direction. The direction was to establish a meeting with the superintendent, which I believe is good practice, a face-to-face. But I will certainly send a letter to maybe nudge that along a little bit.
I don't remember what the words were when we were talking
I
about
do.
if it was meeting or proposal.
I clearly do.
Well, you can't have 2 people going in and representing.
Well, I totally agree.
Yeah.
You need to stay at your own seat.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, we're running out of daylight here. Can we, I don't mean to move everybody along, but we gotta get going here because we're running out of daylight and I gotta get over to the fire department. So anyway, we're gonna go on to Commissioner Privilege. Bill?
Excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I just have one thing quickly. I know we're running out of light. I got my flashlight on my thing. I have been looking into some agenda and meeting minute software.
Okay.
to help streamline and make our jobs more efficient in the office.
Yep.
There is a cost involved. I have reached out to 3 companies. I've done multiple webinars with them. I have some proposals. I'm waiting on one more. Hopefully I can bring that to you as a board, probably late August. I don't think I'm gonna make the next deadline. Just an option to look at. I think it's gonna make not only my job easier, deputy clerk's job easier, office staff easier, and it's gonna streamline it for you guys. I mean, you're gonna have this information to you quicker. It's gonna be easier to go through. I mean, everything's clickable. You don't have to scroll through 200 pages. A goal of mine is to go paperless. I mean, we're running on printing 2,000 pages per meeting. And when you factor in the cost of the ink, paper, the time, it's just something I'm going to bring to you. That's your decision, but I've been doing legwork and just kind of wanted to keep you guys
And
informed.
I know we tried it, we tried it once before, it was a long time ago, but the tablets she had gotten were way too small.
And
So-
city manager and I are looking into some other options
Correct.
with that as well.
All right.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, I totally agree on this. The amount of paper we get every time and how much that wasteful that is. It's like every time I open the packet, I'm just like, oh.
I'm with you, Commissioner. I cringe every time I print them, but
It's, yeah, in this day and age, electronics and stuff, it's just unnecessary.
All righty.
Thanks,
Back on
Jason.
Commissioner. Bill, you got anything for us for Commissioner privilege?
No, I haven't been to a planning commission meeting, so I just wanted to, my condolences to the mayor and her family. And, leave it at that.
Okay. Mike?
I guess I'll just gloss over the friction, I suppose. I'm a go-getter. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make phone calls and I'm gonna try to make things move along as fast as possible. It's nothing personal to anybody on this board or administration. I just had my communications, with this particular person, and I know what was said. And to say that I shouldn't make phone calls and meet with people to try to expedite things when people are busy in a transitional period, I just don't think it's appropriate. I'm just trying to help out the city.
Okay. First and foremost, blessings to Mayor Vandenbach and her family in this very difficult time. Her mother was just an incredibly sweet lady, and she will be very much missed. Regarding report outs, the 300 Broadway Committee will not be meeting this month, but effectively just waiting on the results of the grant. Not sure if there's anything there, but it should be available by the end of the month. Related to that building, the Finsterwald's Arts and Craft Fair, if anybody had seen the signs for that up, that'll be August 5th and 6th. Be sure to stop by. Major thanks to Jeff and all the people in the DPW for these cleaning up after these crazy storms. And again, everybody be careful with all the trees, limbs, and everything else down. It's a mess out there. Be careful, be safe. That's all.
Rita?
I just want to remind everybody about the Maritime Days, August 4th through 6th. There will be fireworks on the 4th, I believe, at 10 p.m. And thanks to Rosalie Squires about the pollinator garden. If anybody wants to come by, it's right outside the meeting doors here, and it looks great. So thank you for that. That's all I got.
All right, we're getting down there.
Give you some light. You're reading in the dark.
All right.
I got cat eyes, thanks.
I also want to give my condolences to Jen and for the passing of her mother. I mean, it was really hard on her, so it's very tragic. I want to thank Rosalie.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. And like I said, meet with the city manager on that. I want to thank our DPW, that last storm. I mean, our DPW head, he was out there cutting trees and doing stuff. He was in our neighborhood. It was like everybody was out watching him. It was really interesting, but the guys all worked hard. His crew was phenomenal. So they did a wonderful job. And I want to congratulate the Marine City 12U District 7 champs, and they're heading the states for the Little League. We wish them all the best in the state, and hopefully we'll have power soon. We apologize for all this. It's due to the power outage and the storms. Hopefully we'll have it soon, but hopefully if we hear anything else, I'm sure we'll try to get the message out to the community. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. I got a,
Splinters across the room.
find out from Joe, so I know we did have a meeting there.
We're not gonna talk today. I'm gonna request a closed session for next meeting with the entire commission. We'll address it then.
You did well. You did well. Jason, was this your pen? Who lent me the pen?
Well, it was in the bucket down here. It's just an extra line. I'll put it down here.
Thanks, man.
If you ever need them, there's a bucket down at the end of my